What up, everybody? Welcome to the LOC podcast. I'm Suicide Squad. I'm here with Easy Money.
The Commish.
No Team Money Nation this week. He's out enjoying the world right now.
Unfortunately, we'll miss his insight this week.
But I'm being real. The two of the best three are here right now. We'll be okay. We'll be just fine. And everyone's still mathematically in as we enter week 11. So here's just the preview. So I guess we're going to start off a little injury report. I have a very brief injury report this week. And
Yawn.
Yeah, I know people have been yawning at this, but hey, it's just part of the league. You got to deal with it. Injuries happen. It's just like, what are you going to do about it?
And just to touch on that too, nobody is mathematically eliminated from the playoffs yet in our league due to the fact just because the wild card spot is 5-5. The worst team in the league is you. Suicide Squad is 2-8. 3 games back with 3 weeks left. Needs a lot of help, but
there's still a chance.
We've seen crazier things. Alan Hearns didn't score tonight.
Yeah, I know. It's just I want to cry a little bit, but hey, you know what? It is what it is. It is what it is. This week on the show, before I forget, we're gonna have the Big Daddy Team Chuba on the show.
First place in the South, ladies and gentlemen, will be joining us.
So, I mean. My injury report, I only have one injury, major concerning injury, and that's Darren McFadden. Limited in practice with a groin injury. What do you think about this, Easy Money?
Yeah, a player that's been injury prone his entire career. You don't ever hope someone gets hurt, but we had been talking earlier today. I mean, whoever Dallas plugs in, their offensive line is one of the best.
And that's why me and Mike picked up the 2 backups.
Yeah, so, we were on top of things. No, telling for sure McFadden misses anytime, but
if he does,
he's injury prone.
Why wouldn't you pick up
exactly. I think, the other injury I was just going to mention, coming from my team, Tony Romo's going to be back from IR. It's not like he wasn't.
Well, yeah, he's coming back. I'd say with that, everyone's stock rides, especially one. Des Bryant is always going to be there, so his stock's kind of rising, but he's just a stud. So he's just he's been playing. Last week he didn't play that well. The week before he played really well, but I think it's more of a product of the fact that he's still a little rusty, a little banged up with his ankle.
I was going to say
Jason Witten's stock goes through the roof.
Yeah, it goes up. But then, any word on these 2 players I had him just for the injury report quick, come from Team Chuba. Emmanuel Sanders, was he on the concussion protocol?
I heard concussion protocol on last Sunday. I haven't even heard anything else about it.
Okay. So I was just concerned about that because he was pulled from the game, correct?
Yeah,
last Sunday.
Really early.
But now it says, it's his ankle and finger now. So just kind of lingering injuries for Emmanuel Sanders.
So that tells me he'll play this week.
Yep, and then also from Team Chuba quick, any word on LOC for a return?
No chance.
I wasn't expecting this week, but just any word 2 weeks, 3 more weeks, playoff time for fantasy?
At least a month.
Okay, and if you look at that, that's week 1 of the playoffs, or even 2 weeks of the playoffs.
Or you could I want to say at least a month. That's just the minimum. And maybe he comes back and he doesn't play very well.
Or who knows? What if they sit him for? Like we said, this is the same injury.
Well, I honestly think they're gonna rush him back because now that Jacksonville won, there's 3 teams now in that division with the same amount of wins: Colts, Texans, and
4 wins is the. I know Jakes have 6 losses, but
then also the Colts play Atlanta. That's gonna be tough, and then I don't know who Houston plays this week.
Houston's New York Jets. I know.
So that's also maybe a loss.
Yeah, probably.
So after this week, it might be a 3-way tie, and I think they're gonna rush him back as soon as possible.
Well, yeah, and just the way Andrew Luck puts up so many points.
And which is surprising to me, just because he doesn't look that good this year at all. But
33, 31, 21, 25 until he was injured.
Mm-hmm.
But that was prior to the injuries. Yeah. But now with him returning, like we said, maybe 14, 15.
So he
16.
So he sat out this week, and then. If they said a month, it's week 14. It's probably the week I'd eye for him to come back. Probably against Jacksonville, it'd be the second round of the playoffs.
Yeah.
So that helps out Chuba a lot because if he can clinch this number 1 spot and get a bye, he doesn't have to worry about missing him.
No.
Yeah.
But those are the only 2 other injuries I was.
It
It was actually a good week compared to all the.
The last 2 weeks have been absolutely freaking terrible.
Yeah, compared to
Awful.
what those have been. I mean, so far, no one really over the past weekend, other than Edelman.
Yes.
So you hope. Obviously with the playoffs coming to you hope none of your players
Get hurt. It's the worst time too because
exactly
it's
you want
all the good players are on right now. I don't think you're going to be seeing many more being popping out of nowhere.
Exactly, and
all the sleepers are on too. It'd be an awful time to lose a player.
Yeah, and this is the time of year where you're trying to stock up on depth going into the playoffs, so in case one of those injuries does come, you have depth at your position. But I think that's
pretty much it.
And
then before we're gonna break down the matchups coming up here with our boy Chuba. We're gonna get him on the phone, but we're gonna dish into just a quick little talk about the league. It is winding down towards the end, or we're already almost near the end already. First off, for the podcast, we were thinking we're gonna we're for sure we're gonna keep going through the NFL playoffs. After that, I think we're still gonna do it. Maybe cut it down to maybe once a week, but we're gonna keep it going year round. Maybe just transition to more of a sports talk, other fantasy stuff. But then also we're just throwing out some other ideas for next year's fantasy. For example, we're thinking about maybe throwing down the quarterback touchdowns from 6 to 4 standard leagues because, I want that because I'm having QBs, but hey.
Yeah, and we just myself being the commissioner this year, I do live with Tyler and Ben, as we are all aware of the 2 other members of our league. So there is quite a bit of competitive talk, but then also talk about this league in general. We do want to try from year to year, improve it. That's why this year we've been adding a couple new elements to this podcast included. But then we had been talking about different changes we could possibly make to the league. As far as that goes, we'd like to get the input from other league members for sure. I know, not sure that all of them listen, but as far as that goes, we'd like to get your input for sure.
Yeah, so just if you have any suggestions, just shoot me, not me, shoot Michael the emails.
Shoot me the emails. I don't know how many people are listening to the podcast regularly, but I know we have a couple, but just the couple. We were thinking about an auction draft possibly next year.
Yeah.
And then, we said, the quarterback points go down. So we would just have to get input for sure from anyone in the league. And then we'd probably even put that to a vote.
Yeah, for sure. So just let Michael know. And I think we're just going to transition into matchups now. I think Mr. Ranger Rick Chuba is on the phone right now. He's being presented to you by Menards. Save big money at Menards. Team Chuba, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. I'm glad I got the John Cena music.
Yeah, I think that fit your personality really well. Just to introduce Chuba here. He's been a lifelong, with me and lifelong friend with me and Mike. Went to high school with him. He currently attends college at North Dakota State University, the Big Bison Nation up there in North Dakota. So how you doing today, bud?
Oh, we're doing well. Got a little bit of a cold, but we're all right.
Okay.
Hanging in there. Hey, Eric, how's it going, buddy?
It's going.
Yeah. And also, just to touch on that, Team Chuba now. Eric, how long have you been in this league? I've been in it 7 years. This will be my 8th. You've got to be up there.
I think I'm 4 or 5 now.
Okay, yeah, 4 or 5, because I was going to say you're one of the more steady league members for sure.
That's been 4 or 5, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
And so, Chuba, what we're gonna do here is me and Mike are gonna ask you a couple quick random questions, and then we're gonna go. Just if you want, you can help us break down the matchups a little bit. Give your little lock and upset and stud and dud and stuff like that. Is that okay with you?
Oh, that sounds great.
It does? All right, well, my question
yeah.
to you is, because, you know what, I wasn't going to bring it up because Tyler was supposed to be on the show, but Tyler's not on the show today, Chuba. I know how probably that much that hurts you a lot. I can see it through the phone how much that hurts you. But I want to know something. I know there's a little controversy going on right now, a little trade that happened. I want to know why you did not accept the, I think it was Cam Newton for DeMarco Murray trade. Can I just get a little reasoning why you did not take that trade?
Well, pretty much my thought was, I mean, I got Latavius and I got Devonta, obviously. Both pretty good. But, Latavius has been banged up. So, he goes down. I got nobody else. Like, I just dropped Rashad Jennings because he's nothing. So, basically, DeMarco was an everyday starter that I couldn't get rid of.
Yeah, and, like, are you, like, really high on, like, Fitzpatrick the rest of the year? Or did you pick up Tyrod Taylor today, I saw, actually.
I did. We'll probably switch it in and out between those two. Fitzpatrick's just got good receivers to throw to. He's got Decker and Marshall, so.
Yeah, like, I honestly was saying it to him, too. I don't think, like Cam Newton's, like, he's, a top 10 fantasy QB, but I don't think that it would be that much of a jump for your team, especially, I think Murray's playing DeMarco, not Latavius. DeMarco's playing really well lately. I think he's in the top 10 for running backs now. Maybe. He's
basically, for me, it's not like my quarterback was winning me games anyway.
Yeah, I know. You didn't have like those 2 weeks either.
That's what I was kind of thinking too. That's where I was kind of trying to put myself into your shoes. It's not like your quarterback, like you said, has been winning your games. If you can get a quarterback that gives you about 15 a week, which you've gotten, I mean, that's how you've been winning games because the rest of your team is so strong. And then even like the Dion Lewis injury, that kind of took a shot towards your depth. So if you lost even another running back, the depth would just really not be there at all.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. If I still had Dion Lewis, I would have probably thought about it and probably said yes, but I don't have him anymore. So.
So that kind of definitely factored into it, I'd say for sure. And then just the one question I had for you, we're just kind of on our quick hits here. We had asked Devengers of the Garrotron his draft strategy, kind of looking at that. So I'm just gonna. I mean, you don't have to give away all your tips.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, what do you kind of look at when you draft?
Well, usually if I'm in that top 5, I usually go for top 5 running backs. They're usually solid during the year. But if I'm not in that top 5, I'm looking for receivers. But first or second round, you definitely got to go running back, I think.
Yeah, that's that's how I kind of feel. I just think if you can find like a top running back. But you didn't draft Freeman. You did draft him, but you got. I would say there's a little luck.
A lot of luck involved in that one.
There was a lot of luck.
But like, okay, that's like what you kind of draft people thinking that maybe one of them could like turn into like a star. Maybe not like the number 1 running back in fantasy, but I think that's everyone's like hope, and like it just happened for you this year. So.
Yeah, Mike, you had Coleman, right?
Yeah, I kind of got screwed out of a starter there.
Yeah, thanks for that one.
Yeah, no problem. Well, it was like I didn't really. That's when me and Ben were drafting together. We didn't really know like, who's going to be the starter in Atlanta. Ben says, it's Freeman. I was like, I think it's going to be this Coleman. So I draft him, and he was until he got hurt.
But my thing was that like I don't want either one of them because of just how Atlanta's used their running backs the last few years, like with just this committee BS that you don't want.
Yeah, but I mean, it turned out.
But then once they got a new offensive coordinator, I probably should have seen that coming a little bit. But
Chubes, would you say that Freeman was kind of like changing point of your season? When he kind of came on, I think there was like 3 weeks or 4 weeks. It was like 30s and 20s. You think that's kind of the turning point of your season?
I think so because he was like my high score those 3 weeks. I'm pretty sure I probably won all 3 of those, so I'd say yeah.
Yeah, because I remember even when I played, you beat me. He put up it was a Thursday night game. I think he put up some ridiculous 27 point. It was
I was up there.
It was crazy for sure.
And then one just quick question: did you draft Allen Robinson or did you pick him up?
Who?
Allen Robinson.
No, I drafted him.
You drafted him? It must not have been. Wasn't that early? I don't think, was it?
No, it was probably 4th or 5th round, I'm guessing.
Yeah, because he's been really good this year.
Yeah, because we were just kind of breaking down your team before this because we knew we were going to have you on. And I think Freeman and Robinson have to be like two of the best, other than Tom Brady, probably the best picks in this draft.
Oh, yeah.
For sure, and you got blessed with both of them.
I got lucky with one, I guess.
Yeah, for sure. But we're going to transition now from the questions
to the matchups.
Yeah,
we're just gonna. I'm just gonna start off with my match of the week. Then Mike's can give his, and then you can give yours, Chuba, and then we'll just break down the rest after that. Sound good to you?
Sounds good.
All right. Well, mine is gonna be Team Gigrich versus Defenders Age of Garrotron, my boy Garrity. Not much to say about this one. Like the two, like I think Chuba number one in points scored, or is
Chuba is. No, Gigrich then Chuba. Yeah.
The number 3 point scorers. Not much really to like say other than that. Like I guess the keys to this matchup I think is gonna be largely heavy on Garrotron's running backs versus kind of Garrich's top, like all of his wide receivers. He does not have Antonio Brown this week, which I think gives Garrity the edge, even though he does have Tom Brady. But I'm saying right now, high on Charkandrick West this week. Been putting up huge numbers, playing the worst run D in the league. I think he'll carry Garrity to win.
That's what I was gonna say. If you look at that matchup, I think like the one Antonio Brown doesn't play. That's like 20 points from Gigrich. I mean, he's been getting close to 30 the last couple of weeks from him. I think, I totally agree.
And especially it's two starting wide receivers: AJ Green, Marvin Jones playing in Arizona. At Arizona. That's all you need to know. They haven't been playing good anyway, but that's just all you need to know about that. What do you think about this matchup, Chuba?
I don't know. It should be a good one. I mean, Gigrich wins. What? Gigrich might be in first. Yeah, Gigrich will be in first place, won't he?
If he wins.
Because he'll outscore him. So he'll jump him. Yep.
Yeah, that's a really good matchup.
Yeah. Then quickly, so touching on that, that's the two top teams in the North. My matchup of the week then is going to come Team Chuba versus Team Show Me the Money, because that's going to be for the top spot in the South. Kind of pending, though, if Chuba does, if you do play him close, let's say you did lose, you could still keep that spot because of the tiebreaker points. As far as that matchup goes, I think, Team Chuba just got a good start out of Allen Robinson, who didn't score, but he was still able to get double digits, which is huge. I think with Freeman back, he's not on a bye. Like we said, we just heard from Chuba, just kind of plugging in a quarterback that's going to give him 15. I think that's huge. And then as far as Team Show Me the Money goes, because running backs have just been kind of up and down all year. I think if he could get a solid game out of Lamar Miller and Chris Ivory, then he's got a shot. But right now I'm leaning more towards Chuba. I mean, something to keep an eye on, though, is Dez Bryant with Tony Romo back. I know Dez is kind of a little banged up, but that's something to keep an eye on because Bryant's stock shoots out of the roof now with Romo back.
Chuba, what do you think about this matchup? That's your matchup, actually.
Well, I'll be honest, I'm a little worried. I mean, his receivers are both good. Dez is back with Romo, so that's not good. Carr's projected to go off. I mean, he's playing Detroit. His defense is pretty bad. But Detroit's D did kind of shut down Aaron Rodgers, Mike.
Yeah, I was a little salty about that still.
Okay.
My bad.
I'm gonna backtrack a little bit here. As you know, the Vikings are number one in the division now, and we're watching the Packers game at B-Dubs. It was probably the best game of my life to watch Mike and Ty's reaction to that game. That was pathetic. But back to the matchup, I think this is going to be actually I'm leaning more towards Chuba as well. I get that he does have he has Chris Ivory, Lamar Miller, and Ivory's kind of dropping off a little bit. Lamar Miller's on the upswing a little, hardcore. He's put the most points the last 5 weeks for running backs. Calvin Johnson against Oakland, Dez Bryant against Miami with Romo back, and then Terry Carr. But I'm going to swing a little bit towards Chuba just because he can match up with him, and I don't like the Matt Jones or the Vikings defense start this week. I love Vikings, but I think this Green Bay doesn't turn the ball over ever, and that's kind of how you have to score points on them because they're going to score. They're just going to.
Yeah, even if they have been slumping, they're still going to put up 21 in fantasy. Packers don't turn the ball over rarely.
21
No.
points, and like along with all the yards, is probably going to give.
He'll
Like,
give
the
him
Vikings
like
a
4 or 5.
like maybe 3 or 4.
Yeah.
That's like what I'm
and
saying.
then the Matt Jones, I don't like that at all either.
I
I
Carolina.
don't either.
Is
so-
that a 4 start by him though? Is he? I mean, I know Edelman.
I think it is.
Yeah,
because no Barnage, no Edelman, no Martavis Bryant.
Like, I feel like his flex play, he would have played with, he's got Martavis Bryant, doesn't he?
Yeah,
Yeah, I
but-
feel like he would have started him.
yeah.
Yeah, and
Wow.
then you got. I mean, I think the favors you just because there are some components missing from his team, like Barnage, who's been huge.
Yeah.
You lucked out there, like you got him on a bye too.
And like,
Yeah.
and even though the boys don't, like more, not only Mike, but Ty doesn't agree with me. Tyrod Taylor's gonna have a good week this week. Wins a
Because, I mean, I expect them to play from behind the whole game.
yeah,
so.
okay, like that's what I was saying about New England. Like their defense is okay, but like the fact is like they're always blowing opponents out to the point where they are like are going to give up points. Kind of like a little bit like how
Yeah.
Green Bay was last year. Like the defense was okay, but like they were a lot better than like what the scores say. But
For sure.
so Team Chuba, what's your matchup of the week that wasn't mentioned?
Well, since you took both of mine, I'm going to have to go with Team Swanson and Team Money Nation.
Wow.
Just because, you know, you win this, one of them wins this, they're getting closer to the playoff, that last playoff spot, you know. They're both in the hunt a little bit.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
That's-
A lot of playoff implication on this one for sure.
Yeah, and wait, what do you think about this matchup, Chubes?
Well, it's projected to be close. I mean, but Team Money Nation got 15 out of both his running backs, which isn't bad for who they are, I guess. Like, Anton Andrews and TJ Yeldon, I mean, they're not breakout dudes, but 15 combined is not terrible.
Yeah, I think it was a good start with them. Like, yeah, most their guys, like you said, they're not really like crazy numbers. They got like I'd say like they're average, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree.
And my thought on this one, I guess, is just Swanson could win if for one, like I don't know like what's going on,
I
but
think
like he literally hasn't picked anyone up the entire year. He has to start Kirk Cousins, who I get is riding like this wave of like a hot streak where he played like this defense that I could probably throw like 800 yards on. But anyway, Kirk Cousins is playing at Carolina, not good at all. Like I think Redskins may not. I don't think they're going to score that game. I'm not even kidding because they're like a little overrated because they have played some bad teams. And you have Texans D and Nick Novak, and I mean Texans D did like kind of luckily put up like a good number last week, but like New York is they have a pretty good offense and Nick Novak isn't good. But the one thing I will give Swanson though, Witten, not really Terrence Williams. Terrence Williams is not that good, but Witten's stock's going to go up through the roof with Romo back. But I don't think
I
it'll
still
be
don't
enough.
understand why he has Terrence Williams in his lineup, though.
Yeah, I
Well-
know. Like throughout the whole year, he's had Terrence Williams, who's done nothing. He has to start Theo Riddick in his flex because Cooks is on a bye. But
Yeah.
Okay, but here's
I'm
my
worried
thing.
if Darren McFadden doesn't play.
If Derek Benn doesn't
That's
play,
true.
Swanson doesn't have a chance.
No
chance at all.
chance at all.
But like, okay, like honestly, like I'd like shoot more for like, okay, I know Melvin Gordon hasn't been playing, but I got this feeling, man, he's gonna come on. I would start him at the flex this week. I don't know if Swanson's listening, but I've been right on. Like, I told him to pick up the Texans defense. He didn't really have anyone else to pick up, but then he picked him up and he won.
Yeah, I think this is a make or break week, definitely for Team Money Nation. If he loses, I don't think he's coming. I mean, he'd have to win his last two and get a lot of help. Swanson, I don't know. He kind of reminds me of Team Sanders last year.
Who just didn't really
Team
care,
Sanders didn't
but for
care.
somehow he just like lucked out and got to the number 2 seed with the
I mean,
most
at least
amount of
Tim
points.
Swanson didn't draft, what's his name, from Atlanta last year, the bag of running back, Jaquiz Rogers.
Yeah,
Yeah,
number
for
1
sure.
pick, number 1 overall pick, Jaquiz Rogers. Hell
Yeah, shout out to Team Sanders wherever you are.
He's like KIA living out on like the fringe in like some forest in his little tent.
Yeah, no kidding. So like, let's quickly just run through the other matchups. I think we can. I mean, we'll just start with mine. We can run to yours, Ben, because I'm just saying, like, I've looked at mine probably plenty.
Same
You've looked
with
at yours plenty. A little disappointed I am about Blake Bortles tonight.
So like, this whole week, Mike's been like telling me, he's like, do I start Blake Bortles or do I start Romo? And then like this whole, I'm like, I would wait on Romo to see how he plays. I expect Bortles to put up a solid 12 spot.
Yeah, and
but-
for a while there, it looked like he would maybe put up like 5 or 6. I was like, what are you doing?
Like Bortles played so bad. Like he fumbled the ball once, got picked off.
Yeah,
and, like, he played so bad, and like
should have had a lot more, but they get down to that red zone and they turn it over somehow.
Yeah, I know. Like the only time he threw a touchdown was because like they got the ball in the 5 because of a kick return. It's like if that wouldn't have happened, Bortles would have put up like 5.
Yeah, so I mean, I kind of and I've literally said this entire year, don't start Thursday night players. Like, don't unless like you have to. Like, especially quarterbacks. Other than Tom Brady, no quarterback really plays well on Thursday night.
It's because of the short week.
It's the quick turnaround. Yeah, there's not much recovery, but I still think with the 12, it's going to be much closer than it should be this matchup. I expect Alex Smith to put up somewhere in the range of 12 to 20 where he has to start. So really, he's not going to outplay me in quarterback. What do you think the matchup comes down to?
Straight up right now, how DeAndre Hopkins plays because he is playing Revis this week.
Yeah, and I just don't see many more points coming out of.
That's like literally the only thing I can see because
his running backs are terrible.
Like, okay, I'm just saying one thing. Ronnie Hillman's gonna play better with Brock Osweiler. C.J. Anderson's not gonna. I don't think he'll be.
No, Robert Woods will get nothing.
Robert Woods will get absolutely nothing.
Zach Ertz, maybe 5.
5 or 6.
I see Philadelphia going more Jordan Matthews' way.
Yeah. Deshaun Jackson, I think he'll have 1 catch for like 40 yards.
That's what I was going to say, too, with Kirk Cousins, going back to that Swanson matchup. I heard from a source outside, Matthew Berry. Carolina plays really well against your top receivers, but then your slot guy. So, like, I'm saying, like, Deshaun Jackson, Jordan Reed, Pierre Garçon and Deshaun Jackson, probably not huge games, but Jordan Reed and then...
Jamison Crowder.
Yep,
Crowder.
I could see them, but really, I mean, Carolina. I think my team is, like, literally... Blake Bortles is like the definition of my team, like 12 points. Like everyone is like gonna get like 10 points maybe. So like 10 points out of like 9 guys. Like hopefully that gives me 90. I just don't have anyone on my team that's gonna give me like 25.
Yeah.
But I mean, hopefully I can pull out the win. Definitely a huge playoff implication. That this whole week, I mean, we should maybe label it like playoff week because. If I lose,
it's official. It's playoff.
It's playoff. Because if I lose, I would go to 5 and 6. Rhino will be tied with me at 5 and 6. That just is
it'll be just a cluster
mess.
Chuba, will give me one key to this matchup.
I think if Michael's receivers outscore his, he wins.
Yeah, that's pretty much all he has to worry about because
his running backs will. Like I see you winning anyway. So
yeah, I see. As long as I don't
because he's gonna put like max like 80. That's like kind of how you have to think about it.
That's like a huge 80 would be huge out of him. I see 65 to 80 somewhere in there.
But okay, I'm just saying this team. Okay, like they did have Keenan Allen that 1 week, but he did get hurt. This team put up 111 against Ty, so the potential is there.
Well, I mean, and we're not like bashing on Team Rhino or anything. But I mean, he lost Jamal Charles and Keenan Allen. Kind of crappy.
He still has
doesn't help.
Yeah, exactly.
Next one, let's go my matchup. Suicide Squad at Team Champ Daddy. Not a ton of action. Alan Hearns' touchdown streak ended at 7, which is it kind of sucks, but it's like kind of what I need to expect. Like the 1 week he's not gonna put up a touchdown, he's not gonna put up anything. But Delaney Walker did put up 10. McCluster put up 1. I mean,
it's like it is the toilet bowl. Like, no offense to your team, it is the 2 worst teams in the league.
2 records.
But as far as Hearns, you can't bash the guy for not. He scored in 7 straight. Like he overachieved.
He overachieved by doing that.
It's bound to happen
eventually.
Time.
I guess my key to this matchup is just gonna be the Monday night game, Brandon LaFell against Danny Amendola. I see it being that close going down the stretch, just because we match up honestly pretty well. Like overall, like kind of. It's going to be kind of like, Sunday it's going to be Julio Jones versus Todd Gurley pretty much because the rest of our team is just kind of like, whatever. But then when we get to Monday night, I think it's going to be LaFell versus Amendola. Whoever can score more out of those 2 will win. And because we don't really know what New England's going to do, honestly, yet because they're Nazi spies.
My key to that game would just be I just think it's solely on Aaron Rodgers. If he decides to show up and play, puts up his normal 30, I see it going Team Champ Daddy. If he's put up 17, 18, I literally think it'll come. I think it'll be a 10, 11 point game. I think it'll be a close game.
I think it'll be close. But there's not much sizzle other.
I think Danny Amendola. I didn't even know Team. I looked. I was does anyone have Amendola? And he had him.
Yeah.
So that's a nice add to his team. like Edelman going down. T.Y. Hilton, I don't see doing too much without LOC.
No, Richard Rodgers is boomer bust. Tavon Austin back with Case Keenum of all people.
Chubes, you got a key to this matchup?
I'd have to agree with you, Mike. Aaron Rodgers, obviously. Like,
Yeah.
if he doesn't put up what he usually does, I mean, Weemus, you got the chance. Obviously, you got helped out by McCluster getting one, which was, I don't know why he played him. Obviously, Ingram was on a bye, but...
Yeah, that's what I was like. If you don't have any depth, that's what we were kind of saying with you. Like you're saying with your trade, no trade to Tyler.
Well, but
if you lose someone,
but like
there's no one out there that
you're like looking at
all.
you're looking at like the teams or whatever. Like the teams with like no depth are the worst teams. Like my team when I lost Hyde, my team went in the absolute toilet.
Yeah,
and and you know, I mean, like if Hyde does I don't think he's gonna play, but whoever I start, I can do better than Dexter McCluster's one. So
for sure.
Last one, Stadium at Bossman Jr.
I mean, like again, like we're gonna whip through this matchup quick, but it's not to be overlooked because I mean, look at the 5-5, 4-6, huge playoff implication. Like I'm just stressing this podcast, but it is like there's a ton of playoff implications going on. As far as that matchup goes, Team Stadium's going with Russ Wilson this week over Andy Dalton as far as now. I don't know if he's switched his lineup at all going into the week. And then Bossman Jr., he has finally updated. He's got Michael Floyd in there. I like that. I know they're going in Cincinnati, but I don't know. I like that Michael Floyd has been picking up his game a lot.
Well, okay, I don't even know if like he would have because Ruben Randall's on a bye. That's the only reason why he's starting him.
Yeah, but that's what I was saying. Like maybe it's gonna like finally like open Bossman Jr.'s eyes. Like, oh, I need to be starting him on a week-to-week basis because he's put up double digits. I think the last 4 weeks.
Pat picked up Matt Hasselbeck. Oh, I just noticed that.
Yeah, and Drew Brees. That's what I was gonna say. That was my key to this matchup. Drew Brees is on a bye. How does Bossman Jr.'s quarterback play?
I'm sorry, Pat. I don't give you much of a shot to win this week.
I got Stadium in this one.
Yeah, just because.
I mean, he's a little deep on his Seattle players, but still.
Yeah, but they're playing San Francisco.
A lot of Seattle players going there.
Like San Fran is just, even though they're 1-0, like with my boy Blaine Gabbert, but.
Yeah, I don't think. I mean, Bossman Jr.'s running backs. He's like bleeding out without Matt Forte in his line.
Yeah, because and they're both playing at Arizona. Good run defense. And then he's got Jordan Reed and Pierre Garçon, we just said is playing at Carolina.
Yeah, but I think big game for Jordan Reed. Next to nothing for Garçon. I'm just
gonna say this: if Mike Evans can put up over 20. Boston's got a shot. If not, no chance in hell.
I think task.
Yeah, I mean that's yikes. Well, I think if Bossman Jr. is to win this week, if he could get Forte back, he's sitting good. I mean, his team would look good with Forte in the lineup. But yeah, not too much of a shot this week for.
I'm gonna give him like about 15%. So yeah, I think we're gonna go into a little stud and dud. Bum bum bum. Hell yeah.
So we'll lay out the rules for that. Stud and dud. It's pretty self.
Just pick a player that you think is gonna be stud. Kind of try to steer away from like the marquee players.
Like the Rob Gronkowski.
Or like stuff like that. Unless they're gonna be your dud. All right. Like stud, okay, obviously like if I could pick like a stud, it'd be like Tom Brady every single week.
Yeah.
I know what you mean.
And then so I'll just start. My stud of the week is Jason Witten.
I've kind of been high on him the whole show.
I watched him play with like Romo. He's just like Romo just checks down to him when there's no one open. He's got so many catches. I think he's gonna have. Sorry, my battery just dropped to 10%. We'll have to keep going anyway, but. Jason Witten, the 1 week that Romo did play the whole game, he had 2 touchdowns. I expect him, maybe not 2 touchdowns, but a touchdown.
So my stud of the week, I don't know if you'd consider this a stud. I'm going Sammy Watkins. I know they're at New England. That would be considered a stud, don't you think, Sammy Watkins? That's not like against our rules. I think Sammy Watkins.
That's not even close.
Okay,
okay. I thought you were like asking me like, oh well,
no,
he be a stud.
No, I'm saying like that follows the protocol. I think Sammy Watkins. I don't really. Sometimes Buffalo's weird. Like you can't really predict them. That's why I think no one's probably like thinking Sammy Watkins is gonna have a big game. Like New England does play pretty decent against the pass. As far as what's his name, Super Bowl guy Butler, right?
Malcolm Butler's a good
He's
one.
one of their good corners, so I think he's
like
on
their only good
Watkins. So I mean, I think they can throw on New England, and I think you see, I give 160 and 2 touchdowns for Sammy Watkins. That's
All right.
That is bold as yeah.
And that helps Tyrod Taylor, though, so.
Yeah, so they'll be coming from him.
All right,
there you go.
who's your stud of the week there, Ranger?
All right, my stud is going to be Sharkandrick West from KC.
Oh,
We both our studs are from Devengers. Shout out to Devengers.
We do, well, let's see, he's put up, double digits last 3 weeks he's played, I think? Yeah, I think it's last 3.
Yeah.
Oh, no, he's playing San Diego, too, whose defense is awful, so.
You just keep the trend going. Yeah, because I was gonna say the first week I remember he played, it was against Minnesota, and he did nothing. So everyone was kind of like, "Oh, this guy's not gonna do anything." But then he's had 3 huge weeks now.
Yeah, he's filling in for Jamal pretty well.
Yeah, exactly. He's picking up the slack.
well, I was really high on Devender's player, but now we're gonna bring it down. So I'm about to pick a dead out of this team, and his name's Randall Cobb. I don't know what the hell is up with the Green Bay offense at all. It's just really weird. The receivers aren't getting open. The running backs are, I don't know what they're
doing next to nothing.
Next to nothing at all. And Randall Cobb against Minnesota has never done anything. Averages 40 yards a game. He's had 1 total touchdown against them in his career.
Usually I was going to say it's been Jordy Nelson that has the big games against Minnesota.
But he's gone, so I don't,
Well, that, and I think that Devonta Adams is kind of taking him over on that depth chart a little bit.
For sure.
A little bit.
I think 20 targets last week.
21.
Yeah.
I'm going to say something. You get 21 targets. How do you only have 70 yards? Pick up your game. That's a little sad.
I think, watching the game last week, I mean, like we said, I'm a Packers fan, Ben's a Vikings fan, so those are the games we focus on every week. It seemed like he was kind of letting the officials, the other team, kind of get in his head. They were hanging on him all game, so he had a couple drop passes too.
Yeah.
But I think, Cobb, maybe a dud this week, but I see Adams, pretty big week. But then as far as my dud goes, it's back in that Gigrich Devengers game. AJ Green. Coming in this year, you think probably top 5 receiver. He has really
if healthy.
Underwhelmed. If healthy. Against Arizona, so he's got a matchup with Patrick Peterson all game. I think Marvin Jones plays well. I think AJ Green, 30 yards. And a fumble.
And a fumble.
Wow.
But, like you're just saying, AJ Green, when he plays, stud corners, doesn't do anything at all.
No, the only team, if you think about it, AJ Green, who does he play well against? Baltimore. So, hopefully, you got him in a week in the playoffs where he plays Baltimore. But other than that, this year, week 17. Sorry, bud. So I got a dud for Green. Tubes, hit us with your dud.
Yeah, I'm going to stay in that same matchup and say Chris Johnson for Team Gigrich.
Okay.
I mean, he's been lighting up as of late, but last game he only had 58 yards or something like that. 25, I don't know, he had a lot of carries, but no yards.
Two yards per carry, pretty much.
And then even the game before that, he still had 100 yards. If they can't hold on to the football, he's fumbled 2 or 3 times.
Yeah, two fumbles.
Well, I think Arizona, I get, every team's we need to run the ball and everything, but they're they're a passing team.
But sometimes they take that to the different, because look he's had 55 carries his last 2 games, and 11 points, 55 carries for 11 points in 2 games.
Yeah, but I get they won the last 2 games, but it's
yeah, they've been winning.
But you beat
their passing game is the reason they win.
Yeah, for sure. They like you said, some teams kind of try to let's just establish the run. Then they focus too much on that, and they're like, wait, we're not even good at running. Why are we running? Let's throw the ball.
And Chris Johnson's I'm actually shocked to I didn't know Chris Johnson was second league in rushing.
Yeah, he's had a couple. He's had 4.
I mean, he's 200. He's about 200 yards short of number 1 AP, but.
But I think he's had a couple 4 or 5 weeks over 100 yards. So I mean, pretty good. So we're done with sudden dud.
I think we are. Just Shuba, I want let's do lock and upset. Upset's gonna be the Delio locks, just so you can pick any team you want. Upset, you pick one team with the lowest record in the matchup to win. Feel me?
For a lock?
No, for the upset.
For an upset. Your lock can be anyone.
Okay.
The upset just has to be, so within the matchup, the team with the lower record.
All right.
Ben will start us off with a lock, or do you want to start with an upset?
I know, just give them both, right? Like,
Okay,
in a row.
you can start us.
Jeez, this is a hard week to pick because these are some close. There's some close.
Just to update the standings, I'm 2-0. Ty's 1-1. Ben's 1-1. And our guest, Chube, so we put our guests. They're all going to be categorized together. You need to pick up the slack for the guests because the Avengers went.
All right, I'll try.
0-2 last week.
All right. Lock.
Are you gonna let me go first, or is he going?
I'm going. I got mine.
All right.
Lock. Statham. Upset. Oh God. These are some good games.
Yeah, I told you there's a lot of close playoff games.
Here's the thing.
This week.
I really want to pick T-Money, but Swanson just finds a way to win, so I'm going myself again. Suicide Squad. In the
Sticking
upset.
with Suicide Squad again. Tubes, if you want to go, you can. I can round us up. Okay.
All right, I'll go. All right, for my lock, I'm going easy money. So Mike, you're welcome.
Yes.
And then for my upset, I'm gonna go Bossman Jr. over Statham.
Okay, I like that. So that was actually going to be my upset. So I'm going to stick with that upset too. I'm picking the same upset. I'm picking Bossman Jr. over Statham. And then for my lock of the week, this is like you said, it's tough. It kind of comes down to for the matchup, I'm going Team Money Nation, Team Swanson. We kind of already broke it down. I was gonna break it down again, but as my lock, I have Team Money Nation over Swanson just because. I mean,
so you're picking two upsets.
Yeah, two upsets, but one lock. Well, I don't even know if you would consider. What do you think the Vegas line would be on that?
The Vegas line on this one would be like a 5-point advantage. I'm saying right now, this is gonna be a very low scoring game.
I think 75-80.
That's kind of how I'm gonna. I mean, I get like he did get 15 on his running backs. Never gets to the running backs, but these wide receivers have some tough matchups.
Yeah, hopefully Alshon Jeffrey bounces back, but is that?
He's playing the number one receiving
against fantasy. Yeah, we'll just have to see. Tubes, thanks for joining us. Good luck.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Good luck in the fantasy way. I mean, you're in the South, so I'm in the North. I'm rooting for you, man. I'd like to see you in the championship.
I know. I'm rooting for you, man. I picked you to win, so you better win.
Hey, I'm rooting for you. I'm rooting for you at least, Mike, to make the playoffs. Ben, I think you're out by now.
Hey, you know what? It ain't over.
Thank you.
I played Don't Stop Believing to start off the show because.
All right.
Just don't stop.
All right, catch you later, Tubes. Have a good rest of your night, man.
Yeah, you guys too.
Thanks, bud. Yeah, it was good to have Chube on, kind of catch up with him. Like we mentioned, a good buddy of ours growing up. Any final words before?
I guess my only thing that
I guess I have something too, so we'll let you go first.
Okay, well you could have like.
I was like kind of thinking.
You asked me.
Should I say it or?
You asked me first, but anyway, we got. My thing is that if you want to be on the show, respond to the podcast message board or shoot Mike an email.
Yeah, as I was gonna say, we like to have like weekly guests like that. It kind of spices it up for us. We kind of get another input, and it's kind of neat to. That's what I was gonna say. It's kind of neat to have like our other players in the league call in, but. We have one like kick butt league. You know what I'm saying?
I think okay. I'm being real. We have the best fantasy league, like at least in Minnesota.
How many other like leagues do any of this stuff? None. And then also, what I was gonna say too, there's gonna be an opening for sure. One opening in this league next year. One of the teams, I'm not gonna say who, has like notified me that they're not gonna be able to just be in it next year. Undisclosed reasoning, but so if you have any like members like that or friends, I would say that would want to be a member of this league. I mean, it is a committed league. You usually are here year after year unless you really want to get out. Just give us a shout out. Other than that, I'd just like to wish everyone in the league, good luck. Hopefully you get some wins. Happy playoff week.
Hey, you know what?
Bring on the snow.
I just really want some snow.
Yeah.
And I know BL's getting hammered right now. Also, next Monday, we're going to be having a regular show. Next Thursday, I think, I'm going to be flying solo next Thursday for Thanksgiving episode.
Me and
so
Tyler
we're
will be on vacation.
And I think I'm just going to stay here. Why not?
Yeah.
The
show must go on.
Yeah, so, I mean, everyone have a great week.
Later, ladies and gents.